Triumph Daytona 955i Best Motorcycle Review. Tubular alloy perimeter. The Triumph Daytona 955i is an extremely rapid, sweet-handling superbike. Unfortunately, it was about 4 years too late in a fiercely competitive class. Similar vintage Yamaha R1S, GSX-R 1000s and Fireblades are lighter and faster. The Triumph Daytona 955i's saving grace is its character from its gruff three-cylinder engine, distinctive understated looks and the fact few riders can use anything like all the performance any of these motorcycles offer. It replaced the Daytona T595. Triumph Daytona 955i used buying guide. There are a number of things to look out for on the Daytona 955i, including fuel tank. Modern ethanol-rich fuels can play havoc with the plastic tank if left to sit in it for too long, causing it to swell, go out of shape, and fuel to leach under the paint. Starter clutch. Every Triumph of this generation carries a health warning regarding the starter clutch. Check for easy firing. Engine case leak. Oil oozing from the right side engine cover is usually caused by it getting around one of the bolts. Remove and reseal. Frame. Early frames were polished, but these were superseded, and early ones replaced, with powder-coated chassis after the tubework on a crashed dealer demonstrator failed and Triumph issued a recall. Bodywork. The metallic paint is a pain to match to correct damage. In fact, the panels were often poorly matched to each other when the bikes were new. Ride quality and brakes. Ride the Triumph Daytona 955i on the road and you'll be hard pushed to fault it. Likewise on a racetrack. But try it back-to-back with the lighter, more powerful Japanese competition and the Triumph Daytona 955i feels slightly crude by comparison. Still a thrilling, rapid motorcycle and plenty stable enough for uneven UK roads. Brakes are superb if kept in good condition. Engine. We love the Triumph Daytona 955i's syncopated rumble at tickover, and there's no shortage of low-down drive. As it builds, more power comes rushing until almost too soon it's time to change up a gear. The Triumph Daytona's triple can never match the Japanese fours for top-end power, but it aces them on personality and sound. It's motorcycling oral poetry with a race can. Reader query. Triumph Daytona 955i ignition problems. I have a 1999 Triumph Daytona 955i. It refuses to tick over when started from cold. After a couple of miles down the road, it seems fine. If I restart it before it gets cold, it's okay. If I leave it longer than maybe an hour, then the same problem occurs. Will Blues, MCN Forum. It sounds like it's running extremely lean. There's an initial check you can do yourself on the idle air control. It regulates the air from the airbox into the motor and you can get it in the airbox. Remove the fuel tank and airbox and you should see a little plastic housing that pokes into the airbox with a little white disc that should rise and fall in response to throttle movement. The only problem with this is the FI management light will stay on until it has cycled 3 times. If that doesn't sort it, you'll need to get a dealer to run a diagnostic check on it to see if it has the correct map and idle fuel trim. Reliability and build quality. Problems with the Triumph Daytona T595 and early T955s had been ironed out by the time the Daytona 955i was released. Triumph finish seems to be more durable than on Japanese motorcycles of the time, although when the crinkly black surfaces start to go, they deteriorate fast. Owners tend to be more mature than other big sports motorcycles too, which is a plus. Value versus rivals. At the end of its life, the Triumph Daytona 955i had a bargain new price. Used motorcycles hold their money pretty well, but it's often justified by excellent condition. The Triumph Daytona 955i is an insurance group lower than almost every other motorcycle in the class, 2 lower than some, which can make a huge difference. Triumph's own insurance scheme can be reasonable too. Reason alone to buy one if you're deemed a high risk. Triumph Daytona 955i rivals 2004 to 2006 Yamaha R1 2005-2006 Suzuki GSX-R 1000 2006-2007 Honda CBR 1000RR Fireblade. Equipment. With the Triumph Daytona 955i there are few luxuries, but that's par for the course. Comfort's not bad. Much better than some of the more extreme motorcycles like Honda's CBR 1000RR and the early ZX10R. You can tour quite well one up on the Triumph Daytona 955i too. The headlights are ace, mirrors are pants. Loads of official extras included alarm, luggage rack, grab rail and a high-level silencer.